Hey guys, thank you for the support of the last videos guys, and keep supporting me. And if you like my videos, please put a thumbs up button. And if you want to know about the updates of the future videos, please subscribe my channel so that it will motivate me for doing more videos guys. Okay, so today discuss most important topic, that is ASA physical status classification, which is nothing but American Society of Anesthesiologists classification. So it has been in used for over 60 years. Over 60 years it has been used, and last ASA proposal has been made in October 15 2014 in the ASA amendment, and it has been approved and make into amendment in by December 13 and 2020. Okay, what is ASA physical status is actually in the PAC we are actually pre-operative period, we will be going and assessing the patient, communicating with the patient, identifying the patient comorbidities and the risk factor associated with this, and then we will be categorizing the patient will be going to which ASA 1, 2, 3 will be categorizing the patient. So it is actually a clinical decision. Actually the ASA will actually propose the several guidelines like definition and examples which has been used as a guideline by the clinician and categorize the patient into 1, 2 or 3 whichever category the patient belongs to. Okay, now first ASA PS1 classify 1 means this is nothing but normal healthy patients. Okay, normal healthy patient. So for examples, in what example I will be discussing the adult part of example. Finally I will be coming to the peds and obstetric part of example as ASA approved. What are the things ASA approved as an example? Okay, so first thing is ASA 1 is a normal healthy patient. This is nothing but an example is a healthy patient who is non-smoker and no or minimal alcohol intake. That patient will come under ASA 1. No comorbidities, nothing was that. Normal healthy patient, non-smoker, no or minimal alcohol intake patient is coming under ASA 1. Which patient is coming under ASA 2 is actually patient having mild systemic diseases. Okay, so because of this patient having the mild systemic disease will be having no functional limitation. Because of this systemic disease, there is no functional limitation will be there, and there will be association of comorbidities will be there. There will be diabetic, hypertension, everything will be there. All the things are well controlled. That patient will categorize under ASA 2. Well controlled DM, hypertension. Okay, and patient who is a current smoker, who is not past history, was not the only current smoker, and patient is a social drinker. The patient is a social drinker. These all this patient will come under mild that means a mild systemic disease, which is under ASA 2. You know, obstetric patient in pregnancy is now in a partial and physiological state, but it compared to the normal pregnancy, it is considered, even though it's a physiological state, it is included under ASA 2. Okay, so pregnancy and obesity. In obesity also they have given the criteria like BMI more than 30, less than 40. If the BMI is that, the obese patient all coming under the ASA 2 category. Whereas ASA 3 category is actually patient with severe systemic illness. Patient having severe systemic illness. Okay, so severe systemic illness means what are the things actually? Severe systemic illness means first, you know, the patient having this comorbidities. So one or more severe systemic diseases. What is severe systemic? One or more severe systemic diseases which cause functional limitation of the individual. Because of this comorbidity, the patient functionality has been limited. Functional limitation of the individual is there, means that patient is coming under ASA 3. Patient may be having poorly controlled everything actually. Poorly controlled DM, hypertension, or DM, hypertension, or patient with the COPD, or the patient may be having other associated active hepatitis patient, or the patients is having alcohol dependence or abuse, all the patients actually coming under ASA 3. Dependence abuse patients, patient having reduced EF or implantable pacemaker if in place, already in place of pacemakers. Next, the patient, another thing is the patient having any recent history of, there is more than 3 month duration. The patient have history of TIA, transient ischemic attack, MI, CVA, or stent, coronary stent or CAD within less than 3 months duration, all come under ASA category 3. Here the patient having the severe systemic illness with functional limitation is there, and your comorbidities are not under properly controlled, poorly controlled comorbidities, active hepatitis, a patient having alcohol dependence, other cardiac, there will be reduced ejection fraction, implantable pacemaker in situ in the patient, and the patient having more than 3 months history of TIA, MI, CVA, stent, CAD if it is there, then that patient will be coming under ASA 3. And other is, I mentioned obesity, BMI more than 30, less than 40 is coming under ASA 2. Now obese patients more than 40 BMI is coming under ASA category 3 patients. Okay, next ASA 4 category we will be seeing. What is the definition for ASA 4 category? The patient having severe systemic disease, okay, severe systemic disease that is causing a constant threat to the life, okay, that is causing constant threat to the life. That patients will be coming under ASA 4 category. So what are the things in adult examples? You know, already you have mentioned recent history of more than 3 months duration is coming under CAD, CMI are coming under ASA 3. So ASA 4 will be less than 3 months duration if the patient having MI, CAD or ever stent, any placement or CVA, everything, that patient will come under ASA 4 category. And patient who is having another important is, if a patient is having an implantable patient having sepsis and shock, patient on end stage renal diseases requiring your dialysis, okay guys, end stage dialysis, but patient not on a regular basis, patient is not undergoing on regular basis, okay, that patients, and patient having DIC or complication, every patient is coming under ASA category 4. Less than 3 month duration, the patient having MI, CAD or stent, everything, and patient who is on sepsis or shock or DIC, a patient who is undergoing end-stage renal dialysis, end-stage renal disease, undergoing dialysis, but not on regular basis. The patient is undergoing on regular intervals, then it will come under ASA 3. If it is not undergoing on dialysis, not undergoing on regular basis, that patient will coming under ASA 4. Okay, ASA 5 patient is nothing but the moribund patients. So moribund patient, there is more chance of expected to death if the operation is, if the procedure is not carried out. This a moribund patient is coming under ASA category 5. Okay, so what are the things is actually the patient having ruptured thoracic or abdominal aneurysm patients, thoracic or abdominal aneurysm, or the patient having massive trauma, that patient is also coming under ASA 5. Or patient having intracranial bleed which is having a mass effect, with mass effect anything is there, intracranial bleed, or the patient usually having some ischemic bowel injury, something, okay, ischemic bowel injury like perforation, with the patient is having with multiple organ dysfunction, associated with multiple organ dysfunction. All these things actually coming under ASA 5 category. Okay, ASA 6 patient is, you know, blinded patient, a declared blinded patient who has donated organ to the donor for the donor utilization. That patient is coming under ASA 6 category. Okay, so next is actually in this we will be discussing obstetric part, and then pediatrics part I will be discussing separately, so that you won't get too much difficulty in that. Okay, ASA 1 category obstetric emergency, there is nothing, because your ASA 2 pregnancy is coming under ASA 2 normal pregnancy also. If ASA 2 category means apart from normal pregnancy, the patient having GDM, gestational diabetes mellitus, and well controlled on diet, he is coming under ASA 2. Well controlled on diet, coming under ASA 2. Or gestational hypertension, that is well controlled. Our patient having preeclampsia without severe features, nothing severe feature was there, that patients also come under ASA 2. Other ASA 3 obstetric examples is actually the GDM patients who is on poorly complicating, that means a GDM patient with complications on insulin therapy or high dose of insulin therapy, poorly controlled hypertension, that means gestational hypertension poorly controlled, and preeclampsia with severe features, severe preeclamptic symptoms will be there, features will be there, BP will be raised, everything will be there, but there is no HELLP syndrome, nothing was there. GDM complications will be there, or you have that patient having high insulin requirement, everything will be there, or patient having poorly controlled gestational hypertension, patient with preeclampsia with severe features will be there, but no HELLP syndrome, nothing was there in stage 3. Whereas in stage 4, what will be having? Stage 4, you will be having patient with preeclampsia having HELLP syndrome like features. Okay, HELLP syndrome like features the patient may be having. And another thing in ASA 4 category which are things is included is actually apart from HELLP syndrome, you will be having peripartum cardiomyopathy in individual, peripartum cardiomyopathy also included under ASA 4, having EF less than 40%, ejection fraction less than 40%, or patient who is having maybe congenital or acquired cause of some cardiac abnormality, who may be asymptomatic before or getting symptomatic during pregnancy, that is also included under ASA category 4. ASA 5 category is uterine rupture patients. Okay, spontaneous uterine rupture due to some scar tenderness, something, uterine rupture, everything has happened, that patient is coming under ASA category 5. Okay, so the pediatric example part I will be discussing separately. So finally we are just seeing ASA 1 is a normal healthy patient, non-smoker, no minimal alcohol intake. 2 is mild systemic disease, no functional limitation, well controlled comorbidities, and social drinker. Okay, and pregnancy is included under ASA 2. And GD, that is obstetric example is GDM is well controlled, hypertension well controlled, preeclampsia without severe features. Whereas ASA 3 is patient having severe systemic disease, one or more diseases with function limitation is there, and poorly controlled comorbidities will be there, and more than 3 months history of TIA, MI or CVA if anything is there, or a patient having GDM which is complicating pregnant complication associated with GDM, or insulin therapy, patient having poorly controlled gestational hypertension or preeclampsia with severe features. All this patient is coming under ASA 3. ASA 4 is patient with having severe systemic disease, that is having concentrated to the life, and less than 3 months duration, that patient is having that MI everything, that patient is coming under ASA 4. And associated obstetric is HELLP syndrome patient and peripartum cardiomyopathy patient. ASA 5 is morbid patient, without the procedure the patient would expected to die. So with ruptured aneurysms, if a ischemic bowel injury, perforation, a massive trauma, bleed, everything will be coming under ASA 5 patient. In obstetric, uterine rupture. In ASA 6 patient is declared brain dead patients. So in ASA 2, pregnancy is included under ASA 2, and if you add some ASA 2E or something, means E means emergency. So without that procedure, there will be constant threat to the life of the patient, or constant to the part of the which part is involved, that is also in the constant threat. That means emergency surgery is needed, we will be including E to that category. Okay, thank you guys, and keep supporting me. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up button so that I will motivate and do more videos for you guys. If you like me, if you like me to discuss some important topics, just in the comment just leave me the topic so that I will prepare regarding the topic and present to you guys. Okay guys, thank you so much guys.